I mean, I won't throw it often, but it's cool to have the ability instead of just standing around waiting for it to wear off on ranged enemies. Because smacking things in the face with your bone is way more fun. Yeah, OBS never even informed me that we were offline. It still thinks we've been live for an hour and a half. Oh. Oh, I still have other things to do. I thought I only had greed mode left. No, no, no. I still have mega stand to do. Yeah, that usually means it was a issue between me and the Twitch server. We beefing. Dun, 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 dun. Where the fuck does beefing come from? I remember the first time somebody said, "Let's squash this beef" to me, and I just fucking lost my mind laughing because I had no idea what the hell they were talking about. But it was because I had shit on their car, and they wanted to fight me. Which is a fair response, but, squashing beef is a weird response. Why'd I do that? The same kid that I was talking about earlier, the WoW kid, he offered me free McDonald's breakfast if I did it. What's a man to do? But shit. It's a very low price. I mean, I had the shit anyway. it's not like I had to create one. It was really... I will admit it was a little more difficult to shit standing on the hood of a car, like squatting on the hood of a car than I expected it to be, but overall, I feel like I got the better end of the bargain. There's thing for the 7 months. Was the beef squashed? Did we ever fight? So like we didn't fight about that. I don't want to tell you what happened. I'm thinking about it now though, and it's funny to me. He was like a friend. Like a friend. I use the term very loosely. He was like a friend. He was a friend of my friends. Therefore, we frequently hung out. But I always thought he was an idiot. So, like, I wasn't too worried about making him not mad at me. It was nothing exciting. Like we met at the mall with some friends, and he started yelling at me about shitting on his car, and I just punched him in the forehead. Just right, like I didn't want to hurt him, but I just wanted him to shut up about it. So I just punched him in the forehead. And like he went on this whole thing about me being a bad friend, and like everybody says I'm a bad friend and mean, and I just, I just kind of laughed at him and went about my day. So I get that was it though. We never talked about it again. I did shit on his car. But like hear me out. One, he was an asshole. Two, he had gotten in an accident, and he had a black SUV, and replaced, the only hood they had available was a white hood, so he put a white hood on his black SUV. So, like, he basically asked for it. He laid out a beautiful white canvas for someone to shit on, and I just happened to be the guy for the job. Oh, wait. No. Kicked him in when he wasn't down. He was a fucking idiot. I'd punch him in the forehead again. I never, like I said, never liked the kid. He ended up turning into a fucking horrible heroin addict and being a big piece of shit. As predicted. Gimme. Depressing story ending. Like, he's clean now, I hear. I hear he's clean now. Is there a story with a good ending? I hear he's clean. That's a good story. Hear he's clean now. What are you talking about? We're there. We made it. Achieved it. I don't want to kill this Boneheart if I don't have to. Tears up. But I do need to get an angel. I guess I gotta kill it, huh? I've run out of options. Where the fuck is my super secret room? It's gotta be off the Little Gus thing for 54 months. Daily spring toilet paper for myself. I use napkins. Like, is that the thing you do everywhere in the world, or just? I'm always surprised at the things that are just like Midwest oriented. But like, you keep every extra napkin you get from fast food in your glove box forever. So when you open your glove box, it just explodes out like 3,000 napkins. Is that everywhere in the world? Okay, good. So yeah. But not for shitting? I mean, it's for whatever the fuck you need a napkin for. That might be shitting, like you haven't done it yet, but you could have an emergency. I'm just saying. Don't think you're too good for accidentally for having to wipe your ass with a napkin. Times can be tough. Oh, I blew my bomb away. It's better than a sock. I could try to get both aimed. Oh wait, I need to hit it one more time either way. Yeah, best. I could get both angels right here, huh? And just seal the fucking deal. Yeah. Ow. I was trying to think of like another set ending for it, but I got nothing after. I think I hear he's clean now. I doubt it, but if I had $1 for every time I heard someone was clean, though. And don't use poison ivy. I mean, you might not be allergic. It's an interesting way to find out. If you like really like to live life dangerously. Go shit on his car again? Nah, I'd rather not. Like, I can still laugh at those stories, but like, I'm not that big of an asshole today. It's just, I can still appreciate them. Just, I don't do that stuff anymore. I don't know, I thought it was funny. I would have been... what really upset him was he thought it was dog shit, and he picked it up with his bare hand. That's why he was, not his bare hand, but like his hand wrapped in a napkin from his glove box, probably. And that's what upset him. That's what made him so mad. Was he like, everyone kept giving him shit because he put hands on it. Which is funny. Why would someone, he thought someone like put dog shit on his car. Like they picked, like, you know, like some people put flaming bags of shit on people's doors. I don't know, I never did that one. That seems dangerous. I ain't trying to burn anybody's house down. What if they don't answer the door? Sorry, I'm thinking about the... They're not even home. I'm driving cars from bridge. Yeah, I've heard lots of those from old folks. Stones, cinder blocks, shopping carts. My uncle got arrested for throwing a shopping cart off an overpass when he was young. I was in a car once when a girl got arrested for, we wouldn't throw them over overpasses, but we would grab them and hang out the side of her van, and she would get going as fast as she could, and we'd slam them into the curb and see how far they would fly. But not trying to kill anybody, just trying to shoot shopping carts long range. And she ended up getting in trouble for that one. Into the school pool. Your school had a pool and shopping carts? What kind of school is this? Tell me it wasn't one of those places where you have to pay a quarter and get it back at the end of shopping. I fucking hate that. I refuse to shop at that store. What is that store? I guess it depends on where you live, but the only one that does it here is Aldi, I think is the one. Everyone was raving about it, so I went there, and then they wanted me to give them a quarter for a shopping cart, and I didn't have change. We can run on your card and refund it when we're done. Like, that's just too much work, y'all. I'm leaving. I put my shopping carts back, except the times I shot them out into the fucking ditch. But, like, other than that, I put them back. You get your quarter back, though. Yeah, but I don't have a quarter. That's the problem. And, like, I don't want to deal with it. That's like a whole step. And it's just a grocery store. How much better can it possibly be than any other grocery store? Little fobs they give away that fit in the slot. That's interesting. Isn't that why I have to put a quarter in? No, I'll just shop elsewhere. Here it's cheap. Oh, it's just cheaper. Okay. I don't know, man. Since they added self-checkout at Walmart, it's gotten crazy cheap for me. Just ridiculous how much money I save. I'm an excellent cashier. Bum, 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 bum. We have a grocery store nearby. This is how redneck my town is, right? We have a grocery store nearby, and they got like this really bad sinkhole pothole in their parking lot, and they've just put like 3 shopping carts in it to like warn people so they don't drive into it. But like I thought it would just be temporary, but it's been like a year. It's just this fucking hole full of shopping carts intentionally. Just admit to shoplifting from Walmart? No. I would never. Stealing is wrong. Gross. I was just saying that the cashier gives some really amazing deals. If you haggle a little, everything's buy one, get one. And went back in to pay for it because he felt bad. I don't steal. But I'm just saying, if I was going to steal from Walmart, I just wouldn't feel bad about it. Because, like, it's fucking Walmart. They stopped giving out employee bonuses here a long time ago. They used to give out employee bonuses if the store did really well. But then the managers realized they could just keep those for themselves and not give them out to the employees. I did have a cashier the other day. I went up to, I found some kids' masks in the clearance section, and I just didn't look at the price because I figured clearance, disposable masks. Gotta be a deal. Turns out they were like clearance, all natural, organically farmed, paraben free, BPAs, maybe. If they're good or bad, it had them. Whichever one you want there, it was the right one. So they were $16 for like 15 disposable kids masks. And I complained. I didn't complain. I wasn't complaining to her, just complaining aloud like, whoa. I didn't expect them to be $15. They were clearance. And the lady's like, well, how much you want to pay? And I was like, I don't know. They were clearance masks. I thought they'd be cheap. She's like $1? I said, sure. And so she just gave them to me for $1. That was tight. Great cashier. I agree. She's almost as good as me. But me at the self-checkout lane, I mean, I would have said buy one, get one at $1. Think she was hitting on me? She definitely wasn't hitting on me. I've met her, I think it's her wife? Her partner. I think she just had one of those days where she felt like just saying fuck the company I worked for. Like, respect. Vivian. I have only once. Well, that's not true. Like, I've flirted plenty of times with cashiers. I used to make it a point to flirt with older cashiers because I thought it was fun, and it made my friends really uncomfortable, which was extra funny. Bonus points for making your friends uncomfortable. However, like, genuinely, this girl, I'd seen her at the cash out many times, and we'd always had good laughs. And anyway, I was super into her, just from my few meetings of her at the cash register. And I tried. I don't remember what I was said, but basically went for it. And this, I don't know, older black lady, probably in her 60s, turned around and just read me the riot act for it. Oh my God. Walked over to that girl, put her arm around her shoulder, said, "We're taking break." And I was like, oh, fuck. Never did that again. Dessert. I get it now. I didn't recognize at the point that I was obviously putting them in a really uncomfortable. That's what you're doing. If you don't see why it's bad, it's because you're putting them in an uncomfortable position. They're forced to stand there and deal with you asking them out or whatever. Because it's their job. That's not the right place to do it. Don't do it. It was on it. It honestly was awesome, and like her point stuck. Like she made the point well, and her point stuck, and she did it in a way that was very funny, and I never considered it again. You know. I think it's easy. So like, it's the thing about it is, right? Like, it's easy enough to be to make it aware that you're interested without necessarily putting the pressure on of that. It's like asking your wife to marry you at a sporting event on the big screen, right? Like, you better be goddamn sure that's what she wants, because that's a fucked up thing to do. Or I have a friend who, in front of all of their coworkers, proposed to her in a box of hot wings at a Hooters that they were both working at. Like, those are the kinds of things that, like, you shouldn't put that pressure on people in front of everybody unless you're 100% certain they're going to be cool with it. Because she wasn't cool with it, but she said yes anyway out of, like, an awkward, I don't know what else to say. I think she ended up saying yes. Anyway, they didn't work out. Let's put it that way. Who'd have thought? He was the cook. She was the waitress. I mean, it could have been love. And then he proposed in a box of hot wings. Like, really fucked that one up. They need like a hillbilly lifetime for movies like that. That's not my town, actually. That's another friend. That's a streamer friend. Not a real life friend, but a streamer friend. Very funny. Another depressing ending? Nah, she's doing great and didn't marry the fucking Hooters cook. So, like, I feel like it's another positive ending, and the moral of the story is don't be a prick. Was it I don't know the different orders of Hooters wings. I'm sorry. I don't like Hooters. I do love never mind. I'm done. Down. Hooters is a wild concept. Especially because it gets used like a fucking... I don't know if this is maybe not the rest of the world, but around here, it gets used like a regular old restaurant. Like it's not what it is. I remember like celebrating a kid's 13th or 14th birthday or something at Hooters. Lucky kid. Yeah, it was. He got to stand up on the table and do a little dance. I don't, that's all. I don't know. He just, it was a thing. It's kind of boring. I mean, it's just a restaurant where they make their employees dress a little extra. What if they dress like owls instead? That'd be dope. I'd love that. I mean, probably not as much as the pantyhose, but like close. I think I've only been to Hooters like 3 times, and one was for a 14-year-old's birthday, so that makes it weird. One was for a meet and greet with that girl, which is extra good. Do I think curses add any value to the game? Yes. I think that all of the curses except blind are fine. Personally, got no qualms with any of the curses except blind. Blind is butts, and for me ruins what I enjoy about the game, which is making a cool build with items that I choose. Losses are like, I don't know, those all make sense to me, man. I don't know, I feel like they get a weirdly bad rep. I understand that some people don't like darkness because it's like super eye strainy for them. I get that. That's fair. I don't have that problem with it. I think it's aesthetically is very cool and fits the theme well. The missing health one puts a lot of weird pressure on you even when you have far more health than you need. I don't know, I like that one. And lost means bigger floors, which I like because more stuff can happen. Yeah, but like that, I would have liked to have known what I was picking up there. That would have been cool. You're trying to stay at a certain health. Yeah, I think it's interesting. Whether you know. I guess I'm the type of guy, though, that thinks a bad thing can be good. Like, something that negatively impacts your character can be good. And that's the only time Lost is cool, too, right? Or Blind is cool, too, right? Is when it accidentally gives you my reflection and you laugh about it. Those are funny. But when I get, like, Taurus, and then I just have to fucking struggle the rest of the run to not hold R because it's such an annoying item. Like, it's not fun. It's not funny. It's not a cool challenge. It's just obnoxious. It's always Taurus, dude. Like, always Taurus. That's the one item that makes me hate Blind. See, like, an Isaac's Heart Blind, I'm like, hell yeah, that's okay. That just means I get to struggle. And I think that was the idea behind it. Like, if it was me, I could see coming up with that idea and thinking, yeah, that'll be fun for players. And not realizing I was wrong. Libra's another one I never want to get from a blind, or ever in general. Because again, it's just not fun. I do like the my reflections and the oddballs, the and then you eventually you guys are leaving out the part that you unicorn horn from Taurus, right? That's the one that does that? Why'd I wait for the spikes? Just keeping myself trained and not paying attention at all. Libra did get buffed slightly overall, but yeah, in turn I heard it got nerfed with some things like soy milk and almond milk. I still have yet to find rock bottom. I swore I unlocked it, but maybe I'm drunk. I just would cruise control the Mega Satan, right? Yeah. I could play that sack pit, but I don't have that much health. It's only in the secret room pool. Oh, okay. So I'm just never gonna get it. With Jacob and Fuckboy, oh yeah, I'm done with those guys. Yeah, it feels pretty rare, the secret room as an item. And then the one time I see it with an item is the one where you have to have flying, and you just don't have it early. Oh, speaking of flying, I have it. How obnoxious is it on controller? It just takes me like 2 hours to learn the control scheme, and then it's okay. But I feel like I got a pretty okay grasp on it now, on the control scheme. I'm really weird with controls. I know I'm not alone in this, but like I don't know what buttons do anything. Like I can't tell you what button does anything. I just press them. But if you were to ask me in an hour, hey Richard, what button drops a bomb? I'd be like, I got no fucking idea. But when I go to drop a bomb, I press the right button. So it took me a while to learn them again, because I'm just like such a habit gamer that I kept doing things wrong. Same with the keyboard. I can press almost every single button on the keyboard with my left hand from all my WoW gaming. But I could not tell you like where anything but WASD is. Which is super confusing to me. Like I don't get it. I know what the finger does. I know where the finger's supposed to go, yeah. I bet I could do better. And that's how I figure it out, yeah. Like I genuinely like feel it out with my hands to try to find where the button would be. It's just muscle memory, I guess. It's a lot of muscle memory, though. Like the whole alphabet. And then all these games that I fucking, you know, I haven't played Isaac in years, but. Yeah, all my friends tried like gaming mouses for WoW and special keyboards and shit for WoW, and like they'd get good with them, but then when they when they didn't have their special mouse or keyboard, they couldn't play. And that's why I just always stuck to regular keyboard, regular mouse. No, I don't need one. I can just do all of my hotkeys with my left hand because it's not that hard to figure out if you just invest the time in it. I just use a old 3-button mouse. Is that the, or is it 5-button? Did they count the wheel as a button, right? Yeah, it's 5-button, not 3. 3 was the wheel. Is it how many buttons are it? 19. But I have 19 buttons on my keyboard. I hotkeyed to H when I played WoW. Mouse ball? I love trackballs. Don't tell any of my nerdy friends, but I fucking love a trackball. If I didn't play video games, I would absolutely rock a trackball. They're just so comfortable. The DPI buttons. Yeah, can you? I don't think you can do anything with those though, can you? Maybe you guys can. I can never figure out how to use them for anything. The DPI buttons are the whoops, I pressed that and now my mouse is going too fast or too slow buttons. I still, out of habit, go to fucking mouse settings to change my mouse speed and forget I have a DPI button. Hognut! Thanks for the 2 months. Ergonomic MMO thinger. Yeah, I bet I couldn't keep up anymore either. My hands are so fucking bad, dude. They've been doing a lot better. Like, they feel a lot better. They're not in pain so much. The cold still gets them. But, man, I've been getting, like, a lot of nerve stuff. I went in to see about carpal tunnel stuff just to see if they thought I was, you know, if I should consider surgery or anything like that. And they basically told me they never want to, like, recommend anything. I hate doctors. I don't know. They basically told me that, like, you know, it's not an emergency. So if I wanted to, I could, but it was up to me. And I was like, oh, wow, fuck, I don't know what that means. So blame people for that. Yeah, I know. I think the worst one for me was the vet when I went to put my dog down. First time I had to do that. It was horrible. But the vet just like wouldn't give you any. I don't know if this is. I assume it's normal, and I understand why. But man, in that time, I just needed some fucking confirmation that I was doing the right damn thing, and they just would not give you that confirmation. And I get it, but boy, did I need it. So unhelpful. Dude, I agree. I just went in for Mila with her. She's been super itchy for like the last 2 months. Just out of the blue, just got super itchy. Not She's not digging or anything like that. She's not breaking the skin, but she just, you know, constantly itchy. But you can tell it's not bugging her. She's not whining or anything. Like she, you know, we've had bouts with fleas and stuff like that. And of course the vet starts with fleas, and I'm like, no, it's not that. Come on, I've got fucking plenty of dog experience to know when it's a flea or not. And she was like super nice. But the annoying part was they asked 9 million fucking questions about, like, you know, what's going on, conditions at home, all that shit. And then they just don't do anything with that information. So then you have to say it all again to the vet. Like, why did the technicians or whatever they are, I'm gonna call them vet nurses, why did the vet nurses ask me 9 million questions when you're just gonna come out here and ask me the same 9 million fucking questions that I already answered? Because now I feel unheard. Ragnar with the 68 months, so stop at 69? Yeah, you stop and then start over and go for 69 too. Even more 69. It's a double check system. Well, the last time I was there, they double vaccinated my dog, so I don't know. I guess maybe they need the double check system. They, so I took both my dogs in for their, you know, what annual vaccines. And they gave both doses to one dog instead of to both dogs. Start going the other. They're normally really good. This was a mistake. And COVID's got them working in like the weirdest conditions too. So I shouldn't be giving them too much shit. But like we don't get to, like, you don't go in, you sit in the parking lot, sit in the car stuff. It's very different. I used to shoot archery with the guy who started this clinic, and I think it's his daughter that runs it now. I always forget to ask her. But I remember we were shooting this archery course, and the last shot is always this like really long shot. And they'd put up a big standing bear. And this is just this like super nice, quiet old man. Dr. Baker. But it's this really long shot on this standing bear, and he shoots it right in the dick. And he just, I mean, just started dying laughing. And then said, I didn't think I'd be neutering anything today. And I'll never forget that, because he like never made jokes. He was always just this quiet, serious old man who just, like, in that moment I realized you can be a kid for life. You can still laugh at shooting an inanimate object in the pee-pee. Like, no, yeah, dude, getting old will be all right. Dick jokes are always funny. I don't know. My dad never enjoyed a quality dick joke. My dad's really weird about that shit with me, though. Like, still to this day, he will like talk filthy sex shit that just like, please God, make it stop. But then like reference his own dick as his pee-pee, or his pee-wee, or his wee-wee, as if I'm 6. And that just makes it even more weird. Talking about slaying puss and then says wee-wee. Sorry, I hated saying that, by the way. The slaying one. I hated that. But I had to make the point clear that it's very confusing on my brain why he can't just, like, say dick or cock or penis. I don't want that. Or need it, for that matter. Should I just make a whole bunch of monsters? Probably. He's always, like, weird. He's always been weird with his sheltering me from, like, shit that doesn't make sense to me. Like, he avidly denied being a marijuana user for the majority of my life. And, like, it was obvious. I'm not an idiot. And he continued to deny it even after I had, like, a felony for cocaine. Which is really weird. We're finally at a point where he's like, once it went legal, he's like, we're finally at a point that he's open with talking about it. They're not proud to admit. That's the thing, though. Like, it's not that. I don't know. I don't think it's that he's not proud to admit as much as there's still this weird "I'm his son" thing. I'm just his young son. That was still sheltering me thing. Cause dude loves his weed. I smoke the ganja. How could you, father? I'm also finally at the point where my mom's still occasionally, but I'm at the point where my parents, every time something bad in my life happens, my parents have finally, like, stopped calling to see if I'm drunk. For those that don't know, sober most of my life. By most, my entire life. It's not most, it's the whole thing. But for some reason that makes everyone think I'm gonna just randomly run off and become a raging alcoholic at the drop of a hat. And it's very annoying. And it's like a super annoying way to check in on me. Like, hey, how you doing? It's never just like a hey, how you doing? It's like a, you didn't start drinking, did you? And then a how are you doing? Maybe I drank so much alcohol I forgot. I mean, it's possible. It's a little projection, I think is what it really is. It's that they assume that I'm going to follow in their footsteps. Which, they're great. I love my parents to death, and I consider them great role models because there's a lot of things they did that I don't want to do. And not in a, like a to shame them sense. It's not to make them feel guilty about it. It's just, I learned. Like, that's... Hold on one moment. Oh, I definitely fuck with him all the time. That's why we talked about earlier, I'm not the golden son, and it is because I am constantly making just bad jokes. I think they're funny jokes, but like cynical bad jokes. You know the joke I say all the time about how when my daughter's 16, I'm gonna become a raging alcoholic, and it's an attempt to inspire her not to drink? Like, maybe I told him that one too many times. But, like, it worked for me. Yeah, I think so, Brian. And that's all my stupid stories, man. Like, there are some people that it's just a funny story to them, but that's, like, the real point of all my dumb stories. All the dumb shit I did is, like... And the bad shit or whatever, the sad shit. Like, it's the getting past it, right? It's the learning from it and finding some value in it. To me, that's important, man. It's hard for me to look at anything that's happened in my life and not see something positive out of it, no matter how hard I try. I have bad days where I want to fucking just whine and cry. But a little reflection, and I gotta recognize the fact that it all got here, right? Ah, highly aggressive and like a foot shorter. That's that Napoleon syndrome, right? That's what my dad always said he had. This is a good no, little friend! That was his excuse for fighting all the time. We're just really emotional, is really what it comes down to. Both of us are super, like, big emotional babies. And a lot of that comes out and makes us start punching. Because I was the same shit, man. Fight all the time. I got bookworm. It just happened there. I threw it. There is still no better. I have still found no better emotional release than a fist fight. Just haven't found it, man. Nothing better than a post fist fight cry to just really like, I miss that for sure. Boxing, so it's not the same, right? Like I said, it's the emotional part of it that, like, if boxing's just not, I'm not mad. I'd need the dude I'm boxing against to, like, dig deep and talk some serious trash about me. Like, it wouldn't be that hard to do. Plenty of ammunition here, but because that's the emotional part. Like, every time I get into a fight, it's because somebody genuinely upset me, right? Like, genuinely made me emotional enough to want to smash their face a bit. And then that whole thing turns into like a nice, ugly cry. I love it. Feels great. Salt the Mohawk. So that, I say that my temper's gotten better, but I think what's really happened is I'm just like not as easily upset by things. I'm less self-conscious than I was. I don't know why I'm backtracking, but it felt like the thing to do here. Now I've gone this far, might as well keep going. Isn't that the same thing? I mean, for me it is. I don't think it is for everybody, no. I guess, kinda. But, I don't know. I think a lot of guys, especially dude bros, won't admit that the reason they're punching you in the face is because you hurt their feelings. They're not going to admit that, right? They're going to say, you know, it's because you're a bitch. A skeleton key for 1 key? What a good deal. It is a hell of a drug. It's... it's wild. Like, male's ability to resolve confrontation is, I know it's like a bit stereotypical, but it feels like every male friend I have, there's a few, I have a few good ones, but the majority of my male friends, just, they would rather completely avoid the problem than have any conversation about it at all, and that makes me so frustrated. We gotta squash that beef. Coming full circle, back to the beef squashing. And it always, always ends in fucking stupid insults and shit. And I'm like, dude, like, I just don't want to be the 16-year-old angry kid anymore. Because if we start punching each other in the face, one of us is going to end up in jail. Fighting got a lot less fun when jail was an option. Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Did they do some beef squashing in that? Shit. I agree. Well, two dudes can mutually agree to fight. Problem is that motherfucker's gonna rat on you if you beat his ass. But no, you can totally beat the shit out of each other and not get in trouble, right? There's no law. Like, as long as there weren't witnesses. So I guess, like, technically... Oregon specifically bans it. Like, specifically bans a fisticuffs duel? How do they word it? Call it, yeah, because like you call it bare knuckle boxing, right? Like, there's just a lot of. Honestly, I'm all for pistol duels, even. Like, let's take it a step further. Two dudes want to just fucking pistol duel at dawn? Like, so be it. See, no, you're ruining it. You're monetizing it. It's not about that, man. It's not about that. It's about squashing beef. Don't taint it. I asked the criminal to mutual combat. Shut up. I need links to this. And I love it. And I'm thinking about a career change. Intergenerational feuds? I'm just saying. I could sit Alice down, and I could explain to her that me and somebody need to resolve our issues. And the only way we're going to resolve these issues is a pistol duel at dawn, or noon, high noon, 12:30. And she wouldn't feel the need to create an everlasting family feud with that person's family. I think I could do that. So, like, if a family feud happens, it's because there wasn't enough communication in the family. Should have talked more with your kids. We fight? Nah. Like, I don't want to just duel for fun. It's not a fun thing. It's resolving our issues. Phoenix Jones. You should end up marrying their offspring. Romeo and Juliet style. See, now that I love. I support that. Beautiful love story. No. Caught a bullet and died from infection. Thank you. I wasn't going to say this because I just said this like 3 days ago, but my favorite duel I've read about is a doctor who dueled in the nude because he didn't want to catch infection. And he got shot and lived. And I love that story. Like, I'm sure everyone was laughing at the dude for showing up at the duel naked. But when he lived, like, that's what it's about, man. Squashing beefs responsibly. There was also a hot air balloon duel, I heard. I don't know if this is true. I read a book of, like, famous duels. I think they both died in that one. Surprise, surprise. Did they joust from the balloons? No, they shot at each other with guns. I think they were French. Separate balloons, and they shot at each other. And I think they both just shot the balloons and then crashed and died. It's been a long time since I read these stories, but I like to believe they're all true, and no way none of them were made up over hundreds of years. A huge growth? I mean, I guess. I just didn't want to use it yet, but if you really want me to. still huge? I don't even know. Tooling in the same balloon basket? Yeah, that seems like it's just not going to end well. The balloon duel is real because of one link from the portablepress.com. That sounds like how the internet gets its facts. The source is pretty. Is it? That's sweet. I'm just giving you shit. I still always have my doubt for like all history, but with their they had co-pilots who also died. I'm pretty sure, which is extra funny. Fried Man, thank you for the 14 months. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Subs and stuff. I love you. See you probably tomorrow.